It's raining, it's drizzling, but it's a Nikon camera, so we're gonna be okay. The hair may not be, but the camera will be. Call for assistance. Trust me, if you're around a tiger, you're not calling for any assistance. This review's turned into a stress test. Just see how this camera performs in rain. So if you're wondering, is it weather resistant? Well, it's pouring rain here at the zoo. All right, guys, it's a rainy day here, but we are with the all-new Z5II. So basically, this is a ZF with a more, I would say, modern style body. A lot of the same features, the same sensor, the same dynamic range, but it allows you now to have a 70-200 on this. We're gonna take it around this rainforest, wild Asia, brand new park here in Singapore. It's raining, it's drizzling, but it's a Nikon camera, so we're gonna be okay. The hair may not be, but the camera will be. Let's see how this performs. Let's talk about this sensor. This is a sensor that a lot of people love. Even though it's 24 megapixel, it is a BSI sensor, but it has really good dynamic range to this. So you're not getting the semi-stack sensor like the Z6 III, which some people complain about the noise and the lack of dynamic range. If you've ever shot with the ZF, you know how good those image files are. You're getting that same image quality here in the Z5II, which is a very welcomed addition. On top of that, you're getting a lot of the same features as the ZF in terms of the image stabilization. Now, the ZF does up to 8 stops of vibration reduction. This does up to 7.5 stops, 6 stops when you're doing the focus point vibration reduction, which is very cool. Very similar technology as the ZF once again. So these cameras are basically brother and sister, minus a couple small differences. You're essentially, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, getting a ZF. But the image quality out of this is fantastic. Low light performance. We're gonna go into a cave later on. We're gonna take some low light shots. We may even do the cave crawl with this for a video. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, really enjoying this thus far, and the grip on this feels fantastic, by the way. The 70-200, some people say it's a larger lens, but it feels really at home here on the Z5II. So in terms of autofocusing, you have more subject detection in this camera system than you would have on the Z6 III. Case in point, you have dedicated subject detection for birds. But for these primates right here, this is locking on very quick. This is a very accurate. The EVF on this is extremely bright. I mean, it's a 3000 nits, up to 3000 nits brightness on it. And while it's not the same brightness as the Z6 III, it's 3.69 million dots, by the way, not 5.76. Nikon has done such a tremendous job with the resolution and the image quality out of their EVFs. I mean, if you use the Z8 or Z9, you know what I'm talking about. Even at 3.69, it looks really good. And here as well, I mean, I can see everything clearly. Absolutely beautiful. Call for assistance. Trust me, if you're around a tiger, you're not calling for any assistance. You are running. You want to get the photo and you run. There's no calling for assistance. So far, the experience shooting with this camera and the 404.5 now, because I switched it. This is the great thing about this setup here. If you like the ZF, but obviously the ZF is meant for smaller lenses, this is going to give you much more versatility. It feels fantastic on this. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a vertical grip or not for this. We don't have that information thus far. But you really don't need it with the weight of this camera and this lens, for example. This feels really good in the hand. But the autofocus is bang on. Does up to 30 frames per second with JPEG. You have pre-capture in this as well. So for the price point of this camera, what you're getting in terms of features is really almost it's kind of a hybrid of a Z6 III, ZF, and Z8 in some respects. It's a very good value for what you get in this. So if you're into wildlife photography, sports photography, or just a content creator shooting YouTube videos, this may be one to consider, and it'll fit on the DJI Ronin RS4 Mini that I had with me. So we'll try that later on. This review's turned into a stress test to see how this camera performs in rain. So if you're wondering, is it weather resistant? Well, it's pouring rain here at the zoo. Now we're going to the predators area. and we are trying to find the tigers. Beautiful. Look at this enclosure though. This is absolutely amazing. This is where the tigers can play around. They can play in the water. Obviously we're playing in the water more than they are today. But again, this autofocus is absolutely fantastic. Okay, we just got some shots of the fox again. Ooh, they're out now. More shots to get. Here we go. They like the rain. So let's talk about the EVF on this. I mentioned it earlier in the video, but 3.69 million dots, but even there with the Tiger, even in lower light situations, it's very, very bright. And it's so stable. This is a really good EVF. Again, I'm more impressed with what Nikon's putting into a camera at this price point than anything else. I'm used to the high quality that you get from a Nikon camera, Z6 III, Z8, Z9, Zf respectively. It's essentially like a Zf, as I mentioned, but in a more modern body, but they've not really cut back on a lot. So if you're on the fence, you're on a budget, but you want a good all-around camera that's full frame, this is gonna be a hard camera to pass on. You're really going to enjoy what this has to offer for you. And it makes it a very competitive marketplace out there, and especially with the optics and the lenses that Nikon now has for the full frame systems. This may be one to get as a B camera for video, or even as just your primary photography's camera. If you don't want to spend too much money, you want to spend more money on the lens and save on the body, this may be one to consider. Okay, I can safely say eye detection doesn't cover crocodiles. But I don't know what camera does, so it's okay. Just putting that out there, just in case you're wondering, but I got the shot. I love this lens. This lens is so good. Really, it's a steal. This is a really good lens. All right, so we're gonna go to the caves real quick and test some low light performance here with photos and video. By the way, if you don't know, this entire video is shot on the Z5II. I can be quiet, there's people around here. It's before the release. Anyway, I'm not worried that there's tigers below me, that I could be eaten alive at any moment. But you know, we're testing the stabilization. Come on, let's see how this goes. 8 stops of stabilization. This is the ultimate test, guys. On this walkway, yeah, not for the faint of heart. This may be my last video or not, I don't know. If I go down, I'll get some good photos. Someone will take the SD card and go, wow, he got some good photos before his last breath. Anyway, that's it. Let's go to the cave. This is a bit scary. All right, now we're gonna do some low light performance tests with video and photo as well. We're going inside the cavern here. These are man-made caves, but when you see how they look, absolutely awesome. There's a restaurant in here as well, and then there's a great photo spot at the very end, which we'll be doing. So let's see how this performs in low light. Let's have some fun. So we're testing the 35-1.4 lens now on the Z5II. Quiet zone, and we don't want people to know we're shooting this. But I'll have to talk at a lower voice, but luckily I have a mic here with me. But welcome to the cavern. Welcome to the caves. How cool is this, right? Super low light. Looks awesome. And there's a long walkway. Quite cool, huh? Malayan horned frogs. Because at the zoo, you may not see them, but you get to hear them. This is how the males attract the females. I should try this. I probably would have better luck. Food for thought. I'm gonna tell you guys, with this 404.5 and this camera, I'm able to capture this bang on 1/40. This is impressive. You won't believe this, but it's eye tracking the snake right now. Now, in terms of its autofocusing, minus 10 EV on this. So you can really be in a low light situation like I'm in right now with this snake, and it's grabbing the eye, which is absolutely amazing. This is impressive. I'm 1/40, by the way, and the shot is sharp. So final thoughts. As we exit the cave here, this camera is a fantastic all-around system, especially for the price point. Again, the image stabilization, 1/40 in the caves, handheld with the 404.5, low light performance, autofocusing, pre-capture, 30 frames per second JPEG, video quality. You can shoot in RAW with this as well. For the price point that Nikon's giving this is really, it's a really good camera system. Again, some of you might be thinking, do I go Z6III or Z5II? And that's gonna be up to you and what you need. Do you need that, semi-stacked sensor? Do you need that higher quality EVF? Or is something like this gonna be plenty for you? And I think for a lot of you out there, for the price point, this will be more than enough. You can save on the body, grab some lenses, and you're gonna have a fantastic system. And for content creators out there as well, this is a great B cam. But with that, guys, thank you to Nikon Singapore for the support. If you like this video, like, subscribe. Thank you once again, and I'll chat to you all very, very soon.